One. Welcome back to the Unqualified Film Bros podcast. I've decided to stop counting up from 200 for our episodes. I'll revisit that when we get to closer to 300 in a couple of years. But in the meantime, you have us for another episode right now, here on a Friday morning, or whenever you're watching us. We are talking about the latest from Paul Thomas Anderson, our first PTA movie on the pod, 200 plus episodes in, one battle after another. Let's talk about this film. Gentlemen, what'd you guys think?
Very good. I love all Paul Thomas Anderson movies, so I was not surprised. I like this one.
Nice.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
Well, I thought I was going to hear
This
what
is
Max had to
this is
say.
opening thoughts. This is opening thoughts.
Okay. Yeah, I also really liked it. I have only seen There Will Be Blood, from Paul Thomas Anderson, but that was also a good one. I enjoyed it. This was pretty fantastic as well. Yeah. Also gonna end my comments abruptly, just like Ben.
Nice.
I
Your
liked it.
turn, George.
I liked it. There.
That's it.
You have our thoughts on One Battle After Another from Paul Thomas Anderson. We will see you next week. Have a good night, everyone.
Perfect.
All right, but what do you guys really think? Let's get into it. Should I have held on the pause a little longer? I feel like I could have let that bit play out a little longer.
I
No,
don't
it's
think so.
perfect. Well done.
Well, we don't want dead air here. Um, so yeah, I really enjoyed it. My PTA viewing is also lacking like Max's. But what he is able to capture here technically with cinematography and sound, um, and performances, the performances he draws from Leo and Sean Penn and Benicio del Toro and Chase Infinity and Regina Hall, like the list goes on and on. This is a great cast. I'm not going to say stacked because Ben is going to yell at me,
Oh my
but
God.
this is a really strong cast. The core is very, very strong. Um, I think what we get here is a serious contender as we, get into the next couple of months, looking into what award season might look like. One battle after another is going to be a heavy hitter come this winter.
Perhaps, perhaps. Um, but yeah, I mean,
Yeah, explain what you mean by that,
like
Ben.
I don't care about the Oscars. I've never cared about the Oscars.
But just in terms of recognition from the film community, this is one of the better films of the year now.
Yeah, but
So
um,
that's my point. Is that this is a strong contender for one of the
Well,
best
yeah,
films
I
of the
I
year.
think it's one of the better films of the year because it's a film that in this kind of present moment really rises to it. It doesn't pull its punches when it comes to kind of conveying the messages of imbalance of power and sort of, all of the stuff that went into the opening, 30 minutes that we get with Perfidia.
Yeah, that
Um,
was a long,
yeah, but
long
like that
open.
sets the stage, and it's really fascinating of sort of what we're going to be set up for later in the film on how each of the characters relates to power, and what they can take back, what they can't take back, and how they do it.
Who do you
yeah.
think has the most complicated relationship with power in this film?
Perfidia is very complicated. She's got a lot going into it, but I mean, everyone does, right? Like you have Benicio del Toro's Sergio Sensei.
Ben say.
Um, Bensei. And you see how each of these different leaders um, either creates or pushes away the people around them that could make their revolution possible, right? We follow two main characters between Pat and Willa throughout the film, but it's kind of little stories within, and it really is one battle after another. It literally is. Like that's what we're following throughout the story is how each of these revolutionaries is making their own waves in their own communities and their own worlds.
Ben, you want to pick up on that?
Yeah. Well, to me, it was, I mean, the revolution aspect was sort of less explicitly revolution, at least the way that he portrayed it for me. And maybe it's just because I watched a lot of Paul Thomas Anderson films, but like connection, familial connection, and fatherhood is a huge one. George, did you watch There Will Be Blood?
Glaring blind
This,
spot.
oh, well, at the end, Daniel
Well,
Day-Lewis is
don't
like,
don't spoil it.
my son. But yeah, he's got fatherhood issues. Lots of people do. Magnolia is a big one. There's like a million people with father daddy issues. But I think the big one here is that like it matters, but not as much as your family. Like it's those connections, and even like with the immigrants, like those are essentially the people that Sensei was trying to save. That's your community, you know. That
Mhm.
revolution does not have to be just blowing up buildings. Like it can also be, saving the people that you care about, which I think you get the reverse. Like it's all about saving his daughter, but in the beginning you see them essentially just blowing up a lot of buildings.
Yeah, and it's interesting that you bring up the sensei's connection to the immigrant
Or
community.
even like the big shock one. Sorry, what?
I was just going to say that it's interesting that you bring up the connection to the immigrant community that the sensei has, that Benicio del Toro has, um, and contrasting that, or sort of, I guess, comparing it to the raid in the first 25 minutes of the film when they blow up a holding facility at the southern border. The revolutionaries, the French 75, blow up this holding facility and free immigrants that way. I think what we see here is two different, and Ben, you were sort of starting to touch on this before I hijacked your sentence, um, that we see sort of two different ideas of what being revolutionary means told through the French 75 versus the Sensei, and that the French 75 take a very drastic approach. They are going at it with, we need to send a full, clear message, loud and proud about what we're trying to do here, and we don't care how we get it done. And then we've got the sensei
And
whose idea of helping these immigrants, refugees, this community is community activism, doing what he can to support these people as they find a life here in this country.
it's
So
also like two types of I don't want to say activism, but like with Sensei, he gives everything to his community. He even like gets arrested so that Bob can escape at the end.
yeah,
Whereas with yeah, like there's even the scene where she's like,
can we
you know,
just settle on whether we're calling him Bob or Pat?
it doesn't fucking matter.
It doesn't
Because
matter
Matt
though,
called him Pat,
essentially.
Max called him Pat, and Ben called him Bob.
His name is Jim Parker, Peter Parker.
Peter Parker.
Batman.
But yeah, I mean, like Perfidia kills that dude, and she's on the run, gives up all of her friends. So like, and at the end, she's got that note saying like, if she could do it all over again, essentially, she would not have walked out that door. But it's like it was a selfish thing at that point. It wasn't even for the cause. It was like an outlet.
Yeah,
Whereas Sensei is like the complete wholesome giving everything. And the nuns, they're kind of like in the middle there where they require you to do stuff. They're not as welcoming as like Sensei just gives everything. It's like if you need help, he seems to give it. So
yeah.
you have a lot of different like a spectrum of what revolution is, what activism is.
Hmm.
What revolution is, what activism is, but also a spectrum of morality among these characters.
Yeah, and then the ultimate one is just Pat, Bob, whatever you want to call him, essentially just, you know, doing everything for his daughter. Like the minute she was born, he just dedicated himself to her, which I think is, that again, like I said, it seems to be a big pattern of Paul Thomas Anderson stuff. Um, I think Brady Corbet also talked about this in like The Brutalist, which is like, I could make 10 masterpieces, but my greatest masterpiece will always be my daughter. It's like it's a profound thing to sacrifice everything for your family like that. Whereas sacrificing everything for some, ideology that maybe you believe, maybe you don't, um, it's kind of hollow. And you see that at the end with Perfidia sort of just in Cuba, Mexico, wherever she is. She doesn't even get to show up. So maybe there's hope at the end, but I think it's interesting to see that. But the most poignant thing is definitely this fatherhood. And you get like the really evil guy with Lockjaw, who's also the actual father of um, Willa, and he does not like he wants to give her wants to give everything for the club, right? Even his own daughter. Like this is more important. His lines were insane. I love the way that they wrote it. It's just like this is more important, even more important than you. I'm to become a superior man. I'm gonna become a Christmas adventurer. Do you know what that means? When he said that line, I cried. I'm gonna become a Christmas adventurer. Do you know what that means?
No, nobody does.
Hail Saint Nick.
It is a super secret society of white supremacist Christmas enthusiasts.
Now, I have not read Vinland, but that seems like a Thomas Pynchon invention. It's something really wacky that he would do. Christmas adventures.
They didn't
Like,
have any Christmas themed like decorations or anything, which was so disappointing.
yeah, well, they said Hail Saint Nick. That was it.
That was about it. And they played the Christmas song too.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, I love this walk too. The one thing that I just couldn't get over the way
Sean
he walked
Penn,
around.
he has such a, I don't want to call it swagger with the way that
No,
he
he's a
walks.
fucking loser. That's the point. He's
Uh,
a loser.
He
I wouldn't
looks
say
like a loser.
loser, but
He looks like a loser.
And also,
I love the
can
chin
can we
thing.
can we can we talk about the haircut? Like,
Awful. Just god awful.
Everything
I
was
loved
just
every bit of it though.
incredible. It was all incredible. He's like the most, actually, he's not even the most evil. The most evil is definitely the Crispus adventurer, like head guys.
Yeah.
I guess he's a close second. I don't know.
the guy who shows up like right at the end of the second act, who ends up being the one who does who does he kill?
Well, he doesn't kill anybody. He
Oh
tries
no.
to kill
Right.
Lockjaw,
He tries to kill Lockjaw.
and then he
Hmm.
gets shot too, and they both end
And
up
then Willa
surviving.
kills him. Or Will, yeah,
No,
Willa
but
tries to kill him. Willa tries to
Yeah.
he
kill him.
try, he Willis shoots him, and then he just shows up. It's like, holy shit, you can't kill these fucks.
Yeah, that
Oh
that
my God.
final scene, or not like the final scene of the movie, but that
German, I am engaged enemy in battle.
that climactic chase.
They reverse raped me.
I'm just gonna I'm gonna let the whole song play out, Ben, before I make my point. Go on.
All the writing was so good. The they could sense my power. They wanted it for themselves. I love even the like hardcore Nazi racists are like reverse rape. How does that work? Why would that happen? Yeah, continue, George.
Okay.
I had to get that out of my system. Gotta come back, but
Oh my God. Um, what was I talking about?
I can't help you there.
Max?
I got distracted. I'm
Jesus
sorry.
Christ. Um, oh, the chase sequence
That's
towards the end of the
Oh, but
film.
yeah,
Um, great. First of all, great cars. Love me some great cars. Second, what we see in the way that Thomas Anderson presents this chase sequence is a great landscape, and he's making full use of that with his cinematography and his production design. And the the way that he's able to draw it out through spacing out the cars, through intercutting what's going on with each character inside the car, whether it's Willa or the Christmas adventurer guy or the or Pat Bob. Um, we really get to get a sense of the stakes of the moment. Obviously, as the audience, having watched the previous 2 hours and 20 minutes of the movie, we know what the stakes are. But it's still, I don't know, just the way that PTA elevates the tension in that sequence, takes what could be a very cliche chase through the
Yeah,
desert.
you're not talking about the most important part of it, which is the camera work, where they
Yeah,
use like it seems like a slow. They're zooming in slower. They're probably on a car or something or a drone. Sometimes it looks like, but it's going slightly slower or like half speed, and then the car is going faster, and you get this weird like field of view sort of distortion.
yeah.
And it really captures like the anxiety, the tension in the moment. It's really, really cool, especially with the hills and stuff. That adds to
Mhm.
the
Yeah,
like distortion.
the way that he was able to space out distance wise while also maintaining everybody in the frame, and we could see cars cresting over the hill and then another car cresting over another hill down, like down screen from us, or from the other one, closer to us as the viewer. It was, yeah, masterfully presented.
Yeah, I don't know what the exact camera. It seemed like focus, and then they're going slower. But yeah, I don't know exactly how they did it. It's very cool and lots of different cuts to mirrors and stuff. But they're
Though
really distorting like the vision of it, and
there's
you could see the heat too. It was definitely in a desert, hot day, but you could visibly see the heat, which I thought was really cool. You don't get that very often anymore, but this was shot on film, so you get that shit. Shoot
what
on
form
film.
what format did you guys see this in?
I just,
Regular, standard.
yeah, I just saw it in regular.
Oh, I saw it in IMAX. It was fantastic.
I've got to see it in VistaVision.
Let's call our old pal Declan up. He saw it in VistaVision.
VistaVision.
Hmm.
Cool format.
I have yet to see a film in VistaVision. I wish I had done it for The Brutalist. I wish I had done it for this, but I
They
mean,
don't,
IMAX.
they make them, but like these days, they started making them just a year ago. Before that, there was like a 40, 50-year drought. So very few theaters have the capacity to run that. It's a different film than like an IMAX or something like that.
Yeah,
Different aspect ratio and everything. It's essentially like it's like a shot sideways, essentially. That's the way that VistaVision works, to my recollection. But it's really cool. They used to use it everywhere when it came out, but I guess they're bringing it back. It looks great,
yeah.
even
I
on
I
regular
read
format.
I ran a story in one of my shows last week, um, talking, or maybe it was a few weeks ago, leading up to the release. I put a lot of movie news in my newscasts. I don't know if my audience, my viewers, enjoy that as much as I do, but my bosses haven't told me not to, so um, I'm going to keep doing it. Anyway, um, I did. I put a story. There was an article in the AP about PTA shooting this and releasing it in VistaVision, with, what were we talking about? Oh yes, the long layoff between like sort of mainstream productions using this format, um, between 1964 and The Brutalist. It was not used for any nationally distributed film. So that is a
Yeah,
60-year layoff from using this format.
Long
And
time.
now with the critical end, I mean, not really commercial for Brutalist or for One Battle After Another, but
No,
with
it's such much more of an art like format. You're
exactly, it's
not going to
about the art.
see blockbusters on VistaVision. That's just ridiculous. It doesn't make any functional sense. Those things are made with CGI. If you're made with CGI, you should never shoot on film. That's stupid. You have to convert it anyway.
That's all digital, baby.
Um, but yeah, so like it's really it depends on the scale of it, and even if it's like this is a big budget film, technically it's 120 million. Um,
That
but
was
depending on what you're
this was
doing, like
Warner,
it
right?
doesn't make sense. What?
Warner produced this
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
distributed.
Yep.
Um, yeah, they just gave PTA a blank check.
Hey, I'm here for it. I think that they probably sold it as Leo's going to be signing on for a PTA film, and that's probably enough.
That's probably all it took.
If Leo's in your film, you kind of get a check. They're like, sure. He chooses his films well. He's been in very few bad films.
Yeah,
That's true.
this was just sort of shifting the conversation to Leo here. This was a higher end performance from him. I feel like he really leaned into the character.
Look, he
I
does good performances all the time. I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know. I just
He was really good in Killers of the Flower Moon.
Mm.
yeah, it's true. He was. That was the last time we talked about him, right?
I
Yep.
think so.
Yeah.
That was his last film, I think.
Marty and PTA back to back.
Well, Marty's not a surprise, but
Well, yeah.
he'd never been in a PTA film, so big. He's normally outside the budget.
But again, during the junket, he talked about how he was able to emotionally connect with the character, um, just in terms of, I
But
don't
he
know, what he really talked
doesn't
about during
have
the
a.
junket. He
Does
doesn't
he
have a
have a
kid.
child?
He doesn't have a kid.
Yeah, I was like,
But
how does he connect with the
not
character?
speaking, if you let me finish,
Okay, all right. He's got a
not
dog.
speaking to the fatherhood aspect of this character of Pat Bob, but speaking to his role as a revolutionary and his life as a revolutionary. And we all know Leonardo DiCaprio is very politically conscious.
It is so insane. It's insane. This guy is such a good actor because he is a nutcase. What the hell is he talking about?
So during the junket, he gave an interview where
Like
he
the entire
said
thing is he's not a revolutionary. He's a father, and this guy's like, I connected with the revolutionary.
he basically said like this film I connected with the character based on, if I mean memory serves, it's been a couple of weeks since I ran this story, but he was able to get what he needed from the role because of, I don't want to say political messaging, because he said the film doesn't really push a political ideology on the audience, even though it 100% does.
Look, all I'm gonna say is the idiot is a really good actor. But nothing he's saying right now is making a lick of sense to me.
His time as a National Geographic special revolutionary.
Yeah, yep. He's a private jet revolutionary. The niche class of revolutionary.
I mean, if that monologue in Don't Look Up, where he talked about how the people in power aren't listening,
Then he
didn't
went
sell
to
you
Jeff
on it.
Bezos' wedding. What do you mean? You're dining with the enemy, dude. It's just insane. I mean, I love his performances, but he's an insane person.
Yeah, the combination of personalities on this set with Leo and Sean Penn and Benicio del Toro and
Oh yeah, and then you
PTA.
got Sean Penn is he's a real revolutionary. Like he should have been the one. It's amazing. He's the one that's anti-revolutionary. Um, but this guy's like a bleeding heart, like liberal, like he or not liberal, leftist. I mean, he is crazy,
Yeah.
but just yeah, crazy progressive. What did he say? He said something. during the Ukraine war that he gave an Oscar to Zelensky to have it melted down to shoot Russians.
Oh yeah,
It's
I like.
so badass.
Like this guy is
So
crazy.
badass.
They're all crazy. But I love Sean Penn. I mean, they're all great actors.
He gets his
Uh,
face all fucked up at the end,
oh my God,
That was
he's so good.
crazy.
and then what a death. Kind of anticlimactic, but like deserved.
It's just so funny to see him like on the desk. He doesn't even close his eyes. He's just dead.
But we know. We just know.
Well, he also got cremated, so that's gonna kill him if he was still alive.
Yeah, they shoved him into that oven lickety split.
Yeah, part of me thought he'd like wake up and start screaming.
You know what? He survived that crash.
Because it's
Not
like, again, like you said, they got him out of there real quick. So,
It wasn't even a crash that like hurt him. He got
Mhm.
fucking shot in the head with a shotgun. This guy's walking around after like 20 minutes. It reminded me of if you guys have seen, I think it's Snatch. Boris the Blade. And Boris gets like, I think he gets shot a bunch of times, and then he's just walking out angrily with like no, he doesn't have a gun. He's just walking home. And he's like, this stupid fucking whatever. That's what it reminded me of.
I thought it was such a great what the fuck moment to have Lockjaw killed off in the crash with the shotgun shooting. And then for him to not be a factor for probably 10, 15 minutes and then walk out of the wreck disfigured, fucking raring to go. Great villain moment for this movie that I don't know if it necessarily needed, but it really served, like looking back on it, really served it well.
I
I
think
think
it worked really well because of the ending. Like Lockjaw literally just goes back to these guys and he's like, "Yes, I did have interracial sex. I have a child." And he's like, "Oh, I'm in for a second there. I thought you guys weren't going to allow me. The white supremacist Christmas adventures."
yeah,
It's so funny because of how stupid he is. Like he
he's
literally survives
profoundly
against
stupid.
all odds. And then he goes back and he's like, "Hey guys, what's up? Can I still join the club?" After he got shot by one of them. It's insane.
That's I mean, that's all he wants though. He doesn't want a
And then,
relationship with his daughter. He doesn't want a military promotion. He wants to be in the Christmas Adventurers. That's his goal.
yeah, which, yeah, I mean, it's a ridiculous.
Yeah.
Being there does make you a superior man, though, so I kind of understand it. It doesn't make, I
Wow.
love that his
Wow.
caveats. It doesn't make you better. It doesn't make you stronger. It doesn't make you smarter, but you are a superior man. Okay? Well, just I love that he's like a villain, and then you have these like comical villains. You got the guy that's like, take him out, but make it clean. We should be able to eat off the floor.
The script for this is truly special. Ben, you were talking
Yeah,
about how well it's
those
written.
guys seemed like they were written by Thomas Pynchon, I'll be honest. I'll have to check on this one.
It was darkly funny, but that really worked for me.
Yeah, again, Thomas Pynchon.
Yeah.
But definitely, I mean, Paul Thomas Anderson does a great job of that too. All of his stuff is, I shouldn't say all of it. Typically, he's got a nice like melding between drama and like dark comedy.
It works. It works here.
yeah, it does.
So I think we can all toss a strong recommendation to see One Battle After Another in premium formats in movie theaters. Uh, in the meantime, go check it out. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Hit us up on social media. All our socials are in the description. Next week, Benny Safdie directs Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Emily Blunt in a biopic about Mark Kerr, MMA fighter, in The Smashing Machine. So we will see you for a smashing episode next week. In the meantime, watch some good movies, support your local
Watch this one.
theaters, support banning AI in movie making,
Watch Magnolia too when you're done with this one.
and There Will
If
Be
you haven't
Blood
seen it.
and Licorice Pizza. By the way, the Licorice Pizza girl is in this movie as a revolutionary.
Her name is Elena Haim. She's part of the band Haim.
I haven't seen Licorice Pizza.
Okay.
I gotta build up. In the meantime,
You should watch all of them.
between now and next episode, I'll watch some more PTA.
Okay.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.